Hi, it's Tony Tricilius from Cheap Scrapbook Stuff coming to you with this week's Hump Day inspiration. And this week we did a Halloween layout and we mixed a couple of different lines again. We used, for the paper, we used the Authentique Spectrum paper. And it's really cool tone-on-tone paper. And there's stripes and dots. And then also dots and lanterns, if you will. And it's in a bunch of colors. It coordinates with the Spectra or with the Authentique paper. But we used it for the background. And then we mixed it with this stack by Die Cuts with the View called Curiosities. And I didn't grab an empty one, but this is basically what I have left after doing the two layouts. And then for embellishments, we used some Pebbles embellishments from I believe it's their Spoooky collection. And we also used a set of thickers. So here is the first layout we did. And I didn't put the mats down because I wanted to show the layout. But if I was going to put the mats down, we could put them down kind of like that or mix them up however you want. But basically what I did is I took the 6x6 papers and I cut squares. I have some extras because I was just cutting. Not really sure how I was going to lay them out. So I cut squares. I think that they're 3-inch squares. Yeah, they're 3-inch squares because then I was able to get 4 out of each 6x6 paper. And I just took them and just laid them in a triangular pattern. And I like my layouts to match on both sides. So I did match up my squares. You obviously don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then I left about a 1/2 inch border in between the squares so that the spectrum paper would show through. Oh, and by the way, we're using ginger snap for the background, which is an orange. And then on the left-hand side, I took the washi tape, 3 of the washi tapes, and I just kind of free-handed the design, the zigzag. So 3 strips of washi tape. And then I added some elements from the thickers. Trick or Treat, Happy Halloween, the 31, and the Boo. And then I added a couple of embellishments. I did try to ink them, but these have a glossy finish and the ink was kind of a mess. I think if you have a little bit more patience than I did, you could ink them and give them a distressed look. That would work as well, but you do need some time for them to dry. And then for the photo mats, I took the ginger snap and hot cocoa, which is a brown, and put the brown on the bottom of my photo mats, except for the one. I reversed it. And I don't know if you can see closely with the camera, but I flipped the paper over. So we're using the dot side for the layouts, and for the photo mats, I'm using the lantern side. So there you have it. That's the first layout. Okay, for the second layout, again, we used the spectrum paper, and this time we used orchid and antique lace. And again, I didn't put the mats down so that we could talk about the layout, but basically something like that would work. So what I did is I took one of each of the 6x6 papers and cut strips off of them, 1-inch strips. So, and then I took the 1-inch strips and I adhered them just to plain white cardstock to make a 6x6 with the strips. And then, so I made 4 of them. I only used 3. I wanted for a sample. And then I cut them on the diagonal. And then I set them on the paper, again, leaving a little ledge in there so that you could see the antique lace. So that's what I did for that part. I again took the washi tape and ran 3 strips of washi tape down the inside corners just to set that off. And then for these embellishments, this is actually one of the pages in the 6x6. So I just cut these with my paper cutter. You could fussy cut them. Again, a patience issue that I don't have. So I used the paper cutter and I just squared them off. And I did not mat them. I was going to mat them, but I thought they looked better just that way. But what I did do was raise them, and I used these 3D foam strips. I should have had my open package. Oh, I don't want to open this because then we can't sell it. But I don't know if you can see. I'll hold it up close to the camera. But they're just strips. They're raised strips. And I just put a strip on each one, raised it up, added some more of our thickers, and 2 more elements from the embellishment pack, which I also raised up. And then for the photo mats, I took and used the Orchid Spectrum paper, and again used the stripes on one side and the dots on the other side just to give it a little bit of interest. And I matted those on grape shimmer cardstock, just to kind of set it off a little bit. And you know, you could use smaller mats if you wanted. It just depends on your photos. But that's basically it for this week's layouts. Kind of a vintagey Halloween look. So I will put the exact measurements in the description. And if you have any questions or you would like to see close-up pictures of the layouts, please don't hesitate to drop me a message. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.